Hello and welcome to Pram City TV to our maiden edition of Democracy and Development. Extreme heat, rising sea levels, and torrential rains are having a devastating impact on the human race. Global warming has become the common currency on the lips of everybody, irrespective of race. It is taking lives, it's taking homes, and it's driving people out of their jobs. This year, at the Climate Change Summit in Baku, Azerbaijan, policymakers, world leaders, and activists will be coming together to find solutions to the issues happening in the community. But what is really the story on the ground? My colleague Ronnie Akwete-Boche goes to a community here in Prampram and also Ningo to examine for himself what the issues are and how dangerously are people living with respect to the rising sea levels here in the Ningo Prampram District. My name is Anil Sabute, and welcome to Democracy and Development.
The early morning sunrise heralds the movement of fishermen for another day's adventure. Fishing is a big business here in this fishing community, Prampram, which lies on the east of Ghana's capital, Accra, and part of the larger Ningo Prampram constituency. According to data, artisanal fishing provides more than 1,000 direct jobs across the coast and forest communities with rivers. And there are millions of people who indirectly benefit from the fishing industry. Sadly, rising sea levels are threatening the job security of these fishermen. They are also at risk of losing their homes. In effect, an entire community risks being swallowed up by the sea. Fort Venom, once a grim symbol of the transatlantic slave trade, now faces a different threat: the relentless encroachment of the sea, accelerated by climate change. This historic fort, which bore witness to untold suffering, is now being consumed by rising tides and coastal erosion. Over the years, increasing sea levels and extreme weather patterns have gradually eaten away at the fort's foundation. Local efforts to protect this site have been met with challenges, as the forces of nature continue to defile man-made barriers. The fort stands not only as a reminder of the painful past, but also as a stark warning of our current climate crisis.
I don't speak in Quino. Yeah, but you plum. You don't fishing. What a man to me, where you know what a man to you where you. I buy here. No, I buy here. I know one in or him. School didn't know me. We don't have there's another white joint. We in Pasco near.
Achen tete owo nje adimliwi blema mele yen baton ni wana resa so blefoli keni twa aba eminge fo fine blefoli ba na ya ni ne apelo le blo ke cross records le resa so e ke bi boss nke lo le feroli ka ba logole ke bi
se e ba suwe wo ba e we ni wo ba gbe bagbesito ni je ba last sito ne no to him ba pon le je siso ma siso ben siso ngo ni pon yem le ni pon tu wa
pio was for me in the rasa so no e ma government ni che na ni no pio wo ba je wo twa won ba je rasa so twa egbe dane wa na wa le kan government wa le pe pa like a rasa to mange le government on enani wa le pepa ne e ba ne ba ye ni ke yin epo wall ke wo rasa so yi na apo wall kan nge wo nya be ne ekonye ne e ba na wo.
As we watch Fort Vernon succumb to the waves, we are reminded of the urgent need for global action against climate change to preserve our history and protect our future. Apart from residents in this community who are uncertain about the future regarding their home, and livelihoods. Several businesses on the stretch also risk being taken over by the ocean. But there are some few lucky ones who are enjoying the benefit of a solid sea defense against the rising sea waves.
Coconut Point is one of the popular beach resorts also in Prampram. Some few years ago, the owners feared the sea taking over their business. It employs more than 100 people with dependents, but the story is different now.
Ghana's climate activists have been actively campaigning for policies tailored to protecting communities like Lakle, a fishing village in Prampram. Cedric is an expert when it comes to climate policy rollout and very familiar with the dangers communities face. He said talks must give room for action.
Look at this place. 10 years ago, yourself and myself used to play on this shore. We used to swim here. Now we are walking on these rocks, all because the sea level rise, has come so close to the land and even, taking part of the land. Not far from here, we see communities being ravaged by the sea level rise, destroying properties, infrastructure. And all of these gives, greater reasons to be concerned about the emerging crisis and the issues that we face.
So, as an activist of climate change, what do you think are the causes of such disasters?
The sea level rise is caused primarily as a result of two things that are linked to the climate change. One is thermal expansion. When there's global warming, the water molecules expand, and these cause the sea level to rise and to expand to other places. Then also the melting of glaciers and ice cause fresh water to be added to the ocean body, and that also increases the sea level rise. And when that happens, we see that communities that are living at par with sea level or below sea level suffer, because these water then move to these communities and cause so much distractions, as we have seen across the coastal lines in Ghana, Africa, and around the world.
The dangers of global warming have been well reported, and the evidence can no longer be overlooked. People are going through a lot. Sea erosion continues to wipe many homes away. I have come to Old Ningo, another fishing community. Significant portion of the land have already been eaten by the sea. Residents here are worried about losing their home. This woman has lived here all her life and knows the situations well.
Achami Doris Chanote Ago. Go mano minge. Yeah, tenga mano. Say, Benehemat, Kichokabo, wecho some Kahu. Benehematon, Koa warnya, Wamanye, Lu, Wamabe Wehai, Wamabe Kicho, Wamabe Wik. Look at why I'm mature, quite a mature meal. Why I win a Ziano. I know quite a kick I'm going to do. Blema, yene nyu mi onga di one eyi opo nga nya je no. Le jonji wa wodon. Se ka je mi lu ka no tu so ka. E me keke wa lu di anu mo pa ago ka se no. Ka enu no mana. E mi ye mi do nga ye mi ni isi no ache yo lowe. Ye ngba mi ye mi do. We gopo mi o. Wo je fu. La we gopo mi o. Eje, tune jenga mi do kamino. Chupe nyungu kula aje. Lo, emi nemi ye mato, neni ba na afu. Uwo bene amaba na ba pete no ngemido. Uwe kun ka ba wa hemi ngemido. Ene top wasile wa ngwa mi ni jo ne kutokwa mi le ba le jo ton. Jana ba pe no na moto no me ka chinga ngwa mi ene je no. Ne pe kan ebe o se ke wonya ba. Enye teke to mi. Kaba posinga yo nya mi no kenya wasam nye teke to mi wa de ke se to na ba pe awo e pe bo sa pare ba po e pan awo kone wo hin pa ese kwale se wo mo le ba mi ne ba yo ba mi ne ba se yes na sana bo mo de blo na ba po to awo ne wo ya se bo se wo ya se kula ene ngole nyo kenge e ya se no ma na no pa yo da se ko ene pe no le ma ni ma je we ko nya ne teke to ke ba eteke to na ka poso nga wonya ka ba poso nga mi no na wa ka alu ma je we ko na ja ba to ga wo.
I'm a native of this community. My name is Peter Nate Martin.
I'm a climate change advocate, a biodiversity activist. This is a community that is a frontline community that is hugely impacted by the climate change crisis. So I'm calling on all young people, I'm calling on communities and individuals, government, to come together so that we provide youth-led solutions to address this crisis.
Government Sea Defense Project is ongoing at one half of the Ningo township. Several homes that were at risk of being wiped out seem fine, apart from those already buried under the sea.
We have a number of solutions that one can fall to, and that is one we see the sea defense, where we'll be able to provide infrastructure to ensure that we create a certain barrier between the sea and the land, between the sea and the people. That is one. It is also refreshing to point out that we need to restore the ecosystem. Okay. I'm talking about wetlands, I'm talking about mangroves, and I'm talking about ensuring that we possibly relocate people that ought to be relocated, earlier before the crisis hit them. I should also mention that on top of the hierarchy of the solution will be, policy and planning, where at the highest level of governance and leadership, be it at the national, regional, local, and even at the global corporation, we see policies that will be enacted, regulated and executed to ensure that people are resilient and that we be able to provide mitigation approach. There are twin solutions to this. One, mitigation, ensuring that the major cause of this crisis, the greenhouse gas effect, global warming, is being addressed. And to also ensure that whilst government is doing that, we are able to provide the adaptive mechanism for individuals, for households, for communities to be resilient against the crisis. And that is one that we see, the sea defense, and making sure that you provide livelihoods, early relocation, education awareness, and of course, people like you coming to the fore to be able to raise awareness of the people and to, keep drumming, the message of what we must do and how government must take action. And I believe, without doubt, that if these things are done, a time is coming where we no longer have this conversation, but it will be a thing of the past.
This year's United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP29, will come off in Baku, Azerbaijan, and communities facing the dangers of global warming will be hoping for solutions that will help address their fears. But until that happens, the rising waves will remain a nightmare for democracy and development. My name is Aaron Akwete Botry for Pram City TV.